there's some people in government that you work with and we're going to get stuff done. And Mark Stewart, who is the Deputy Commissioner for NYPD, is just that kind of person. He sees an issue, he doesn't see a problem, he sees a solution. And with that, about a year and a half ago now, we talked about things that we needed for older adults and what we needed for older adults to strengthen already a strong and good relationship with NYPD. And Mark came up with a fabulous solution. And with that, I introduce you to Deputy Commissioner Mark Stewart.
Good afternoon. It took me an hour and a half to get here from Brooklyn, but I made it. So listen, we're here today. I took over a community affairs. Commissioner Vasquez and I, we had an idea, we had a plan. And I couldn't believe the plan was never in effect. That you have a community affairs officer in each precinct, that you could go to the precinct, and if you have any problems, go right to that person, that officer, male or female, and they would assist you. Who's the 2-4 CPO here? Okay. Oh, I'm going to introduce you. I'm used to these questions already. Okay, say your name, let them know.
Hi, I'm Officer Sarah Frankel, and I work right here in the 24th Precinct. Nice to meet all of you, if I haven't met some of you already.
So if you have any problems, she's the one, all right? So, and I'm talking about problems, I'm talking about if you have a complaint report, if you're a victim, and what happened, this is catching on so well that the district attorney's office are calling us to give you rides, assist you with anything that you might need. Another thing that I also took in consideration was that we do 1,100 scam alerts for older adults. Year to date, we did over 1,100. We also do bingo, we do karaoke, and we do jazz. But you guys don't like jazz. You guys like hip hop. No, I know. We put on jazz. You said put the jazz away. We want to liven it up. And I had a couple of dances with you, and I'm nervous. But we've been having a good time. This is a priority to me. It's a priority to me, too, because my father, he transitioned about 2 years ago. And I remember when he was in a nursing home. And I always tell the story. I used to go there, and some of our older adults had nobody to visit them. And my mother used to go to every room, bring stuff, say hello to them. And I had to see them. My father was sick for about 6 years. So we went frequently to see us. This was a priority to me. And I met my Lieutenant Bowden, who oversees this program, and she is excellent. Commissioner Vasquez and I, we sat down, and I had somebody in her place, and she wasn't too happy with this person. Not saying he wasn't good, but it didn't fit the criteria, the compassion that we needed for this spot. So Lieutenant Bowden came on board. She came to my office and she says, Commissioner, I'm going to do something with older adults. It was like God sent. So she took over. She's been doing fantastic work. She couldn't be here today. She had a meeting. But I think this program is great. I'm here, and we're here to answer any questions. And I know the mayor for over 40 years. He's compassionate about New York City. And a brief story, this man told me he was going to be the mayor 35 years ago. We thought he was smoking something. I don't know. But here he is, the mayor of New York City. You'll never meet a man more compassionate about this city who cares. He drives around the city 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He will call you 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning to let you know GSD. So, Mayor Adams,
Thank you. Thanks so much, Mark. And thank all of you. This is number
12.
Number 12. This is number 12. The older adults town halls we're doing. We've done a number of town halls, youth town halls, and a number of just everyday town halls. I think we've done around 17 or 18. I don't know the exact number, where the team comes out. I just want to thank the team that's coming out and continue to engage in this conversation, because the goal is just to get beyond the noise and let you hear directly from me, because I hear it over and over again as I move throughout the city. I remember about a year ago sitting down with Jordan, my son, and talking about some of the W's and the victories we have. And he's like, Dad, I didn't know that. And that's what many of you are in the same place. When you think about it, January 1st, 2022, I inherited a city that, do all of you remember that word called COVID? COVID was everywhere. No one was on our subway system. Crime was increasing by 40% in the city in January 2022. The independent financial observers that determine how stable your city is financially did not want to give us a high rating. Our children were not being educated at the level that they deserved. Many of our older adults were dealing with real issues as they moved throughout the city, and we wanted to address them. NYCHA, when I was knocking on doors on NYCHA during the time I was borough president and speaking with them, they were saying our children are home, but they don't have high-speed broadband inside the facility. Tourism was decimated. You could walk down Times Square and no one was there. Over-proliferation of three-wheel scooters, mopeds, dirt bikes, ghost cars, you name it. 2 years later, folks, 2 years, we have more jobs in the city and the history of the city. Black unemployment was 4 times the rate of whites when I took office. We cut it in half. It's the first time unemployment is less than 8%. We funded more affordable housing in 1 year in the history of the city. Transitioned more people out of homeless shelter into permanent housing in the history of the city. Put more people with FEPS vouchers into housing in the history of the city. 15% double-digit decrease in homicides, double-digit decrease in shootings. 5 of the 7 major crime categories are down. 62 million tourists returned to the street, the 4th largest in the history of the city. We have, as I stated, more jobs in the history of the city. The independent financial experts that analyze how well you're doing as a city raised our bond rating to a AA. That may not mean a lot to you on the ground, but it is saying our city is safe to invest in. When you do an analysis of new graduates that are coming into cities, we are leading the way. New York City. Report after report is saying New York City is one of the best cities to live in. Another report came out the other day. We're doing it, although we got 194,000 migrants and asylum seekers. People said to me over and over again, well, Eric, why don't you stop the buses from coming in from Texas and other places? I can't. It's against the law. People say, well, why are you making sure that they have to get 3 meals a day and a place to sleep? That's what the law required me to do. They said, well, why don't you allow them to work? The federal law does not allow me to allow them to work. And they said, if I have them volunteer to do a service in the city and give them a stipend, I'll be breaking federal law. So everyone looks at the mayor and says, Mayor, why are you doing this to us? When in fact, the mayor is following the law that I'm required to follow. And when I go to the shelters where our migrants and asylum seekers are, you know what they say to me? They say, Eric, we don't want your free food. We don't want your housing. We don't want the outside parties, the outside showers. We just want to work. We just want to work. That's all we want is to work. Now, do you know we have a substantial number of migrants and asylum seekers that are from Ukraine because of the Ukrainian war, and we allowed them to come in to flee that war? Do you hear about them? You know why you don't? They're allowed to work. So if you could work from Ukraine, why can't you work from Ecuador, Mexico, Venezuela, Colombia? Something is not right there. Something is not right. And we need workers. That's the interesting part about it. We need nurses. We need food service workers. We need lifeguards. We need backstretch workers. When I speak to people in other municipalities, they say, Eric, we will take some of the migrants and asylum seekers, but we can't have people come and just sit around all day. We need people to fill the jobs that we have. That is the number one thing that would turn this crisis into an opportunity if we allow people to work. And I look at this room, as diverse as we are in this room. Imagine if your ancestors came to this country and they were told they could not work. When I go and see 3,000 people sitting around all day, I am amazed that we're not having some serious violent encounters. But they have been patient enough because they want to just work and contribute to this city. And we need it. It's not like we don't need it. Imagine having a brigade to help our shortage in healthcare professionals, our shortage in removing graffiti, cleaning streets, in our restaurants. Our restaurant employers are telling me, Eric, we need employees. And I cannot allow them to work. That is what we are facing. And you know what? It cost us $4 billion. $4 billion out of our budget unexpectedly. We had to find the money for. And we've navigated us through COVID, navigated us through the crisis, navigated us through the increase in violence, navigated us through the unemployment. We have successfully navigated this city in 2 years. 2 years. And we're going to continue to navigate it. But I need to speak to you directly, because when you pick up the paper and you read the worst thing that has happened to you in the city, you begin to define the city by that. Do you know how many people we have on our subway system every day? I love sharing this. We have 4.1 million riders a day. 4.1 million. We have 6 felonies a day on our subway system. Now, we want to get rid of the 6. But 4.1 million? Our New York City Police Department is doing an amazing job. We removed 50,000. Yeah, you can give it up for them. We removed over 50,000 ghost vehicles, illegal dirt bikes, illegal motorcycles, 3-wheel motorcycles. Remember how these streets, we're not where we want to be because there's more we got to get off our streets. But there was just a total level of disruption that was happening on our streets. And the chief of the department and the commissioners got on and said, we're not going to have a lack of quality of life. And so we'd like to come out and speak directly to you, because you're only going to hear bad news. If they say, if it bleeds, it leads. That's what they say. So you're only going to hear bad news. And before we open the questions, we handed out this little magnetic strip that can fit on your fridge. Whenever there's an emergency at home, when I was a police officer, we would come to the house and people won't be able to give us basic information for whatever reason. So we have this card coming out of our Department of Aging and our amazing commissioner, and just put your basic information. So if there's an emergency, you won't have to search for it. Your name, your contact, your emergency contact, any chronic condition, any allergies, any medication that you're on. This allows the first responder to just take the information and communicate it to the law enforcement person or to EMS that comes. Fill it out. You can fill it out for you, your loved one, your family member. Just put it right on your fridge or somewhere where someone can notice it. And this helps in case of emergency, okay? All right. So let's open up the floor. Let's answer some questions. Where are we starting? How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor.
You don't look like a member of this center.
I know. Bro. I was designated, yeah. Officer Vasquez. So basically, recently, members of the table, they were made aware that there's a possibility of disabled individuals living within the same housing facility as seniors. Is this rumor true, or?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
So, possibility of disabled individuals living within the same facility as senior, members.
They're physical disability, or?
They're not seniors, they're disabled, but they're in senior buildings, and they want to know how is that.
If they're going to be living.
Okay. You aware of that? I'm not aware of that.
Thanks. Yes, and that is something that we've worked very, very closely with our commissioner for disabilities, because the one thing we do not want, all right, is to have people who are homeless. And if you'll notice, many of the people with different abilities are also older adults. And so where we can, we also, you know, and I'm one of your cohorts, I'm up there with you, we also want housing that is mixed age housing. And the reason we want mixed age housing, because none of us lives in isolation. We really do live in community. And we'll hear a little bit more about what we're doing with our youth to anchor those two. So yes, that is something that is occurring, but it's not a displacement of one, it's an enhancement.
Yes.
Okay, I have a question. My
Yes,
name is
ma'am.
Kiria. I recently moved to here to Garden Place, and I feel so comfortable and safe, and they care of me and everybody very well. But I have a short question.
Okay.
What are you doing to ensure senior safety as we traveling through the city?
I say this over and over again, the prerequisite to prosperity is public safety. And there are things we could do together. Number one, we want to increase our police classes, because nothing gives us a greater level of feeling safe, because being safe is not only stats, it's how do you feel. And that presence of that uniform officer on the train, walking the streets, walking the beat again, playing that role is crucial. And so we want to increase our classes that are coming in to get the manpower. And I want to encourage you to tell your loved ones, the young men and women in your lives, policing is a great career. I would encourage you, because we're seeing a drop-off on a number of officers who are enrolling in the police department. We want to increase our classes. We increased and added two more classes to make sure the budget cuts would not hurt our law enforcement officers, because that's the number one thing we hear, no matter where we go in this city. I don't know those numbers that are saying they don't want their police and they want to disband police officers. I never hear that when I come to meetings. I hear just the opposite. You want your police on patrol. That is the number one way that we can ensure safety, and also collaborate with Commissioner Stewart stated, of having your senior liaison that's in the precinct. If you see a problem or something that is a potential problem, communicate with them so we can respond right away, to have the right patrol there, the right deployment of resources. My goal is to continue to drive down crime like we've done, but it has to also make you feel safe by seeing that uniform officer that's on patrol and doing the job he's supposed to do.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. Yourself?
Good.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Latin table.
Yes.
One of our concerns we would like to know, or they would like to know, is how fast can the city fix the sidewalks? Apparently, the sidewalks in the neighborhood, because of the trees, they have a lot of bumps, and it's a danger for them when they walk down the street. So it's a real concern for them.
FDOT? Okay. I know we have a program because we heard those complaints at some of our town halls, and I believe TOT and Department of Aging, what we're doing in areas, we're walking the streets with the seniors, and we're having them point out what road conditions need to be rectified and need to be corrected. So we're not going to just try to go from our set of eyes. If you're navigating these streets, my mother used to hate with her walker, she'd talk about that same bump that was on her street that got in her way. And so what we're doing, we're walking the streets and going into communities to do site surveys with our seniors, everything from traffic patterns, how to do above curves out, everything to make the streets more navigatable for our older adult population. I would suggest, if either this table or whomever raised a question, to speak with DOT, get his information so we can come do a site survey in this area also as well. Okay? A lot of these ringers, man, you guys don't look like senior. They're not, trust me, these seniors are not shy. Don't let them kid you. You know?
Good evening. Good afternoon.
How are you?
How you doing? So my table had two questions. One was what's going to happen to most of the senior centers, more specifically this one, due to all the budget cuts. And the second question is, oh, my question.
Go ahead. No, you can actually go. You can ask your second. Second, you know, Karen is rough.
What's the steps being taken to minimize the moped problems?
Ooh, we hear that at every town hall.
Can I take the cuts first?
Yes. No, let me do this moped.
Right.
We hear that every town hall. These mopeds. What happened after COVID? Everyone started getting home deliveries, and these mopeds are just all over the place. They drive on the sidewalk. They drive up and down. They go down wrong way streets. It's a problem. As I stated, not only were they a problem, but the ghost vehicles were a problem. Paper plates, unregistered. They hit someone. They don't have insurance. The three-wheel motorcycles, the dirt bikes, all of that. We remove over 50,000 off our road. And the commissioner and his team are zeroing in with DOT and others. We're zeroing in on getting these illegal mopeds off our streets. There's a lot of proposals out there, registering them, make sure they have license plates. There's a series of things, but we clearly know it's a problem. And we have to right-size our city after the massive home delivery that has taken place. A lot of people have been using these bikes, and we're calling on our restaurants to also play a role, that they have a responsibility to make sure these mopeds are following the law and the rule, because the worst thing could happen is to get hit by one of them. They don't have insurance. They keep going, and you're left with the hospital bills. And there's been some horrific stories. We know there's a problem, and we've been on top of it, and we're continuing our enforcement. And there's been a large number of them that have been using those mopeds for crimes, committing crimes. We've been finding guns on people. Some of them are part of robbery patterns. So we know it's a problem, and we're on top of it to rectify the problem.
Before I get to the budget question, because I really want to take that one head on, I want to turn it over to Deputy Commissioner, who might want to add something about that.
Yes, about the mopeds, too. So crime prevention, these are all my officers in the blue shirts. We understand, even with the migrants, that they come here, and they really don't understand the laws about driving, operating a vehicle. Quite a few. So what happens, we're going to set up a tutorial program for them, and we went to every borough, every store, and we know where all the mopeds are. We're going to go to those stores. We're going to set up a program to teach them. Because let's be honest, in a lot of these Latin American people, these countries, there's no rules. And when they come here, they think it's no rules, no traffic laws. So we're going to try to educate them on that aspect of it. And like the mayor says, there's some are just getting these bikes and just driving crazy. But, you know, we have Commissioner Daughtry and Chief Shell. Like the mayor said, we took over 50,000 bikes already. So when this easy money for them to make, especially when they can't work, they give these stores, they're giving them mopeds. And I got to give it to them. You're coming from different countries, and you're riding around New York City. I would be lost. But they find a way. But they don't know the traffic laws. So we're going to do the educational part and the confiscation, that when they do use these bikes illegally, that we're going to take them.
And that's what he means, not knowing the rules, the traffic rules.
Absolutely.
The traffic rules are different when you're in a rural environment. I saw that when I was down in, southern. I see it in West Africa when I saw it there also. Our traffic rules in a urban environment is different from the traffic rules in a rural environment. And what the commissioner is doing is proactive. He's saying, let me let you know what the rules are in the city on driving on our roads. And it's really a real proactive step on his part.
Absolutely. No different than if you went to New Jersey or Westchester County. You can make a right on red, and you can't in New York. So you've got to know the traffic rules, and they're all different. But I want to get to the heart of the matter that people have been asking me and the mayor a lot on the budget cuts. I want to thank all of you for your advocacy. You were strong, your voices were heard, and I also want you to take the opportunity to thank the mayor. This city is and still is facing some financial challenges. Some people have a different opinion of that, but we know that we always have to have a balanced budget. And this mayor made a decision that there would be no older adult club programs closed. And this mayor also made a decision that we would not cut senior services. Right. So we hear a lot of swirl, and which is why it's important for us to come directly to you and for the mayor to speak to you directly and hear your questions. The financial situation of the city changes all the time. But I can tell you that there is a commitment that in this year there are no budget cuts. There were no budget cuts. And as a matter of fact, there was no negative impact on any of the programs. And that was done by this mayor, Eric Adams. And it was because he was very smart. He came to these town halls. He heard you and he learned from you. So continue your advocacy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You speak, we listen. We listen. Where am I going? How are you, ma'am?
Hi. Our table had a lot of questions.
Of course.
And points of view. But one of the things that I've noticed on the Upper West Side, and it's a result partly because of the congestion pricing that you don't control, and also the sidewalk eateries, street eateries. But it's made a huge pressure on parking for people who have cars, some seniors, but a lot of other people in the Upper West Side are going to feel this horrible pinch. And one thing that could be done is the resident parking permit, and I just would like you to talk about that.
Your flashlight is on.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because everyone stops me and talk about congestion pricing. That was passed by the state, turned over to the MTA with assistance from the federal government. I believed that the city, these are our streets, we should have had, in partnership with the city council, came up if there was a congestion pricing initiative, it should have been controlled by the city because these are our streets. But that's not what happened. And I think we need to make sure we were able to secure $100 million for those areas outside the congestion zone because we're concerned about the displacement of fumes, displacement of traffic. We're concerned about those areas. As it stands now, I think that your council person, I believe Gail Brewer represents here, you should engage in a conversation about residential parking. You should engage in a conversation to make sure there's advocacy to impact those areas that are on the peripheral of the community that's going to be charged in the congestion zone. But everybody should make sure that, you're right, ma'am? You want any water? Okay. And I think all of those ideas need to be put on the table, and you really should bring in your council person and your local state folks to talk about how do we mitigate, some of the impact of congestion pricing. How are you?
Fine, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Our question is regarding homelessness on
Yes.
the subway
Yes.
and what is being done about the safety for the riders. What's the update? Because I understand they have a new program.
Yes,
the
called
MT
Scout.
That's it.
Yes, yes.
Can you give us some?
Yes. When I became mayor, the first 2 months, I went into the streets to talk about, 'cause I saw it on the campaign trail, these encampments. They were everywhere. People were living under boxes. They were living in tents. And I spoke with the mayors in Los Angeles, the mayor in San Francisco, and other cities where these encampments normalized. And so I went out during the month of the first few months in office, and I visited the people inside those tents and camps. Schizophrenic, bipolar, human waste, drug paraphernalia, stale food, people talking to themselves. And I went back to the team and I said, we had a woman living under the subway stairs in the subway system. And I said, listen, people are not living like this in this city. I don't know what other cities are doing, but this is not, it's inhumane. And we got a lot of pushback. People were saying they have a right to live on the streets. They have a right, I'm being inhumane to try to take people off the streets. If you don't know you need care because of some severe mental health condition, how could we feel it's humane to allow you to stay on the streets in that manner? So we removed 7,000 people into care. Some stayed, some didn't. It's a repeated offense, repeated action. Then we went into the subway system, partnered police with mental health professionals. We pushed to get in Albany an initiative that would allow us to increase the involuntary removal. If you're at a place where you can't take care of yourself and you're in danger to others and yourself, we should be able to involuntarily remove you to give you the care that you deserve. And we believe it should be long-term. What we have done historically, we've taken people off the street, we've given them medicine for one day, then we put them back out there until they do something that's violent. This was a mistake when we closed a lot of our mental health institutions years ago. We've turned our mental health institutions into Rikers Island. 54% of the people on Rikers Island have mental health issues. That is a problem. And so we believe in our subway system that's no place for mental health, people with severe mental health issues to be. And that's what Scout is about. Scout is getting professional, mental health professionals to go out and engage in a real way to get people off our subway system so they won't be living on our subway system with severe mental health issues. That's what Scout is about, and we're going to continue to push forward with it. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, and the
Thank
entire
you.
team that's present today.
Thank you.
Our question is, how can we increase computer skills for our older adults with skilled people to teach them?
I love that. I love that. I know we gave out iPads. We gave out 40,000 iPads to older adults. 40,000. We want to renew that initiative. Here's what I believe we need to do, because you're right, skilled people. Here is an excellent opportunity that I think we could do, and I would love to partner and kick this off with this older adult center. The most skilled people I know that know computers well, right, young people, you know. So we should, just as you have adopted the city in your activities, we should have the local high school adopt, the adult center. Let them come in. And CUNY, you know why the cost of, my son went to American University. It cost me $50,000 a year. You go to CUNY, it's a fraction of that. You know why CUNY is a fraction of that? Because your tax dollars go to it. So part of the elected that you do in CUNY should be coming in and doing services like this. There's no reason our CUNY students can't come in and do serious computer training. That's the partnership. And we have a great chancellor in CUNY who would love to do this, because that's how he is. He's very forward-thinking. So we could get our computer science majors, our math majors, our tech guys. We could partner with Google, who I'm sure would assist us in doing this, because we've been doing great partnership with our tech companies. But we have a large population of experienced people that call students. And we should put together, if we start here, it can grow throughout the city. And they will love that intergenerational interaction, because let me tell you something, a lot of our young people don't have those instructions at home and the wisdom that many of you have to offer. There's a symbiotic relationship that could develop. They would teach you computer skills, and you could teach them life skills. So we should speak with the director. The director here, I'll bring in someone that's from CUNY, but I don't know which high school is in this area. Whatever high school is in the area. Which way? Trinity? So we should set up a meeting. We should set up a meeting with CUNY, Trinity. I'll get the chancellor engaged. And sister, since you raised the question, you should be the point person for here. There's nothing that would stop us from. I'm sorry?
I'm from Isaacs on the east
Okay,
side,
well-
but we will gladly partnership with anyone
do
who
it.
want to work with us.
Let's do it. Hold on, one at a time, one at a time.
When
one at
is
a
the
time.
next round for giving out the laptops to the
Where
various
we with the iPad? iPads. It was iPad.
Yes, the iPad.
Yeah. Where are we with that?
Everybody didn't get it. We gave out 40,000, 20,000 in NYCHA facilities, and then the rest for older adult clubs. And we gave those out primarily during COVID and post-COVID so that you can still engage with family members, because for us it was social isolation. It is one of the things that we will look forward to, continuing, obviously, looking forward to doing and expanding the program. Huh? Right. And a lot of people were taught. And what was great about those tablets, so the answer is not now, but soon. We'll look at that. And we will look. I just text the chancellor of CUNY and said, you got a new project. The mayor just gave you a new project. But the issue for us is social isolation. But the also issue for us is your skills enhancement so that you're employable for those who want to continue working. So it is something that we will look at very carefully.
And so and it's a combination that we can do. A lot of our corporations, they recycle their laptops and computers when they're still good. It's just that they cycle out of that. And we should explore how do we get those computers, because it's a tax write-off, and there's a way if they donate them. So let us explore and come up with an initiative. I'm really happy to hear you talk about computer training, because that's a big issue. Everything we do now is going to be dealing with some form of technology. So let us partner. Let's come up with ways of getting computers donated. How do we get some folks, maybe even Robin Hood or others that's willing to refurbish our iPads? It was a great initiative we did during COVID. Let's lean into that and see how we can do it again. Okay?
Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
Good.
I'm just wondering what's being done regarding retail and petty crime.
Oh, retail theft. Hate it. And when people tell me retail theft is a victimless crime, they don't have a real reality of it. It is. It's an impact on all of us. And we had a retail theft summit at City Hall led by Deputy Mayor Banks, because it impacts us all. If a drugstore closes down, we're losing jobs, and then you have to travel further to get your basic items that you need. And nothing angers me more than going into a drugstore and seeing my toothpaste locked up behind, and I got to wait for somebody to come and to unlock it. So it's a real problem. So here's what we did. And you know what? Know the biggest problem is? They're repeated offenders. 542 people that were arrested for retail theft were arrested 7,600 times in this city. Think about that. So we were able to get Albany to zero in on these repeated offenders, and we're hoping that we could get some real movement of it. But we've also did something else. We announced an 125th Street bid, where we're partnering with a company called Fuchsia's in the police department, where they're placing a camera that's going to go directly to the precincts that could be monitored, so we could identify those habitual offenders that have been doing this retail theft over and over again and bringing them to justice. We're with you. We know it's an issue, and we have really zeroed in on it. It's a national issue. And some of it is organized crime. People are stealing and hiring boosters, going in, stealing stuff, and they're selling it on the internet. So we want to go after the Attorney General James and I last year stood together about a takedown of an organized crime ring. I think it was in 22 or 23. But we believe that we have to deal with the low level and the organized effort. Retail theft can't continue in our city. Let's free our Colgate, Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. I'm from Goddard, not Isaacs. However, we do interact with each other. We are all one. Goddard is all one. We're family. Thank you for coming today. However, you brought up housing, affordable housing.
Yes.
Affordable housing for whom? Okay. We have Housing Connect. If you haven't looked at the papers recently, they start out for most people. If you are really, really poor, $19,000. Most of us make a little bit more than that. We're not qualified for that. If you want to be qualified for a 1 or 2 bedroom, you have to be making at least $80,000. So at the moment, Housing Connect was for people who were low income. Right now, Housing Connect does not apply to us. Also subsidized for most of us. If you're retired, you cannot get into Housing Connect, period. I've applied. 10 years, I'm on the list. Twice they told me I make too much money, $3 above the level that they want. You don't qualify. And now they have raised it, okay? So when you talk about affordable housing, we're not talking NYCHA. We're talking affordable housing. I want to know exactly where we stand.
Well, a couple of things, and that's a very interesting point that you raised. And NYCHA is as important. We were the first administration that put NYCHA as part of our overall housing plan, and the NYCHA Section 8 list is opening for the first time in I don't know how many years. You know, NYCHA is an important housing stock, and we are investing in it. Everything from free high-speed broadband to all the residents to doing the NYCHA Land Trust, the first time this has ever been placed. A lot of people have tried. We were successful in doing it, but I'm not dismissive. NYCHA is an important part of our housing stock in the city. But now when you go with, notice what was stated. You said affordable for whom, right? You stated that you went after a unit and you were uneligible because you were $3 above. So if we make the only low income, you'll never make it. That's part of the problem. Part of the problem, we fought hard to get the minimum wage raised. So if you are a husband and wife that work full time at McDonald's, you will become unqualified for some of these programs. So we don't only need extreme low, we need middle and moderate housing. I need my teacher and accountant to be able to stay here. I need my retirees to be able to stay here. I need my son to finally get the heck out of my house and get an apartment on his own. Right. So we need levels of affordability. But here's how you get those levels. We got to build. We have a 1.4% vacancy rate in the city. 1.4%. And in affordable, we almost have a functional 0 vacancy rate. Because everyone walks around, housing is the right, housing is the right. Okay, we're going to build this on your block. Wait a minute, not on my block. Every part of the city needs to have some housing. We got 59 community boards in the city. 59, right? 9 of them have built more affordable housing and the other 50 combined. So we have places where you have good schools, good hospitals, good transportation, good access to food, yet they don't have any affordable housing. So what we need to be saying in our City of Yes program, a little more housing in every community board, not just certain community boards. That's why you got gentrification. That's why you have displacement, because we've been only going to certain community boards building the housing. And so I encourage you to talk to your city council people, because now our plan is inside the city council, and say we need to build a little more housing in every community board and not take the position, I have my house, I have my park that I like, I have my hospital that I like, I have my transportation system. I don't want anyone else new in my community. No. We need to share the resources of the city. We got Albany to respond. We've been able to get some stuff done in Albany, but now we need this City of Yes proposal passed. I'm encouraging you to read up on it, because if we don't build more, what happens when you have a low stock of anything? The price goes up. Housing is in such short supply that it's a seller's market. We got to build more housing in the city so that you won't have to go through that. And it's across the board. It's extremely low. It's moderate, middle. It's moderate, because everyone needs to afford to live in the city. You should not be going somewhere and saying you make $3 too much, and so you cannot be eligible for this project. That's what's happening, because we don't have enough affordable units. Let us finish when we come back to you, sister. Let us finish the table when we come back to you. Okay, when we come back to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
How
I got
are
a
you?
shy table over here.
That's
so
okay.
This is their question. So there is a question regarding sanitation enforcement. So the question is, what is being done about cleaning up the sidewalks? And an example being enforcing fines for people leaving their dog's waste on the floor.
Hear that a lot. You know, people need to realize, clean up. You know, and both Commissioner Tish, the Department of Sanitation, she has done an amazing job, and our amazing, one of my favorite staffers is the Rat Czar, who's here, because I hate rats. You know, we have transitioned into what people told us was going to take 5 years. We're doing it in 2.5 years, a little over 2.5 years, and that is moving into containerizing our garbage. You'll never have the streets as clean as you want as long as we keep these mounds of plastic bags on our streets. We are really cycling into containerization. We started with food service businesses, then we moved to chain stores. Now we move into the next level, 1 to 9 units. And we believe, like other civilized societies, you don't see garbage bags. I just came back from Rome in the Vatican and even in Greece. You don't see these garbage bags, only in New York. You know, this is a relic from the 60s. We need to put our garbage in containers. But we agree with this enforcement. If there's some specific areas where you're seeing habitual abusers, we can partner with the Department of Sanitation and the police department to do enforcement in the area to get it done and clean up the area. Because you're right. There's some people who walk their dogs, they walk their animals, and I love dogs. They walk them in an area and they don't clean up after them. That is unfair to your neighbor. And the best way to get compliance sometimes is with a citation, to pay a fine for doing so. We do have a pooper scooper law in this city, and people need to abide by it, and we need to make sure that it's enforced. So we're with you. But if there's an area, please speak with your rep, the law enforcement rep at the table, and we'll do some quality assurance over in that area. Go ahead, man. I saw somebody here. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Can you give her a mic? Just got the great Councilwoman Gail Brewer just popped in on her. We were just talking about her. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, I know it's good luck to step on poop. You could play the lotto. I don't know. A lot of Spanish people say that, but anyway, but I do agree. It's actually a statement that I have. When it comes to affordable housing, one thing is for you to talk to community boards and the borough, but it's the lawmakers in Albany that have every say when it comes to tenant rights, landlords, building. That's who you need to speak to before you could speak to anyone else. They have a lot of power over there, from the judges to attorneys. That's where you need to go to then have that be the change that we need to see here in all of New York.
Thank you. And we were up in Albany countless number of times to get some real changes at Albany. And now we're down here in the city council because it's a combination. It's a combination of what we do in the state, and it's a combination of what we do in the city. We were able to get some victories out of Albany. Now we have to match those victories down here in the city. I'm going to do this last question, sister, because you were raising your hand for some time. Go ahead. Yes, here's your mic. Mhm.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for being here at Goddard, Riverside today.
Thank you.
We really appreciate your time and your effort. I'd like to ask you a question about RAD. You know, public housing is being sold out. We have the most precious pieces of property here in New York City. We have over 44,000 public housing, over 44,000 and more, that the government is trying, federal government is trying to take from New York City. What is your stance on that as far as keeping this property here and keeping these developers from taking over this property?
Yes, thank you. Now let's think about this for a moment. How many years have you heard that NYCHA, the cavalry is coming for NYCHA? How many years? Those bugles you hear, that's not the cavalry, it's taps. NYCHA is dying. And you've heard it over and over and over and over and over again, you know, the federal government. The federal government is not bailing us out. NYCHA has something like an $80 billion capital budget. The federal government is not coming. Now, either we can play make-believe and say, well, one day they're going to come, or we can say to ourselves, what are some different things we can do that tenants can generate? So we went to Albany. For years, they've been trying to get NYCHA Land Trust that would free up billions of dollars to do capital. And we said, we're not going to force you on it. We're going to present what it is, and then as tenants, you will vote on if you want it. And then you will go see other projects. And in, I think it was Nostrand houses, they voted, they passed it. It wasn't Nostrand, she said Bay houses. We did a couple other locations. So it doesn't matter if it's RAD, if it's land trust, if it's tearing down a building and building a new one. We got to come up with some different ways, folks, or we're going to be sitting here in 2060 saying help is coming. Help is not coming. It's not coming. So we have to figure out new models of dealing with the capital issue. I think one of the best things is what we're doing down in, I think it's Chelsea houses, where yeah, but folks can, listen, folks can agree or disagree. I'm not voting. The tenants are voting. Some of these buildings are in such disrepair. It costs more money to repair them, to build them brand new. Brand new. So we can either keep pouring money into a bottomless pit, or we can raise NYCHA to the standard that is expected for people who are paying their rent in these buildings. That's my position. But whatever we do, it would be tenant-driven. The tenant would vote. They would make the determination. Now, you and I both know there's no monolithic view when it comes down to anything. We have 8.3 million people live in the city, and we got 35 million opinions. No matter what you do, everybody's not going to be on board. So you got to go with the majority rules. We got to go to the majority rule, and that is going to come from the tenants. But we got to fix NYCHA, and we're determined to do so. Deputy Mayor Maria Torres Springer, one of the first things she did, NYCHA was never in our housing plan. When we came into office, one of the first things we did, we said we are including NYCHA in our housing plan because we're not going to leave NYCHA out. Okay, I love being here, but I got to bounce. Thank you. We want to, Councilwoman, why don't you say something to your constituencies?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. He and I were borough presidents together, and he was a very good Brooklyn, and I was a very good Manhattan. And I love Goddard Riverside, and also Stanley Isaacs. And I appreciate the questions that you asked, and we will also follow up technology, rats, sidewalks. I got the list. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for coming to the Upper West Side.
Facilitators,
enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you.
Please pick up the pop-ups. Thank you. The facilitators. The pop-ups. Thank you. Secure the pop-ups for me. Thank you.